The big spaceship appeared in Earth's sky without warning. It hung over New York City like a metal cloud, its surface smooth and shiny. People looked up in fear and wonder. Some ran. Some took pictures. Some just stood and stared. John Carter got the call at 3 a.m. As America's top diplomat, he was used to being woken up, but not for aliens. He rushed to the United Nations building where armed guards led him to a special room. Inside, a group of worried people sat around a table. "They want to talk," said Kate Murphy, the UN leader. Her face looked tired but strong. "They say they come in peace." John nodded and straightened his tie. "Then let's hear what they have to say." The aliens called themselves the Galactic Confederation. They sent down a smaller ship that landed in Central Park. News cameras from every country pointed at the ship as its door opened with a hiss of steam. The alien that stepped out had blue skin and 4 arms. It wore a robe with strange symbols. Behind it came 6 more aliens, all different shapes and colors. "I am High Ambassador Drix," the blue alien said in perfect English. "We have watched your planet for many years. We wish to welcome Earth to the greater universe." John stepped forward. "On behalf of Earth, we welcome you and hope for friendship between our worlds." Next to him stood Dr. Olivia Grant, Earth's best scientist who studied alien life. She held a special device to record everything the aliens said and did. "Your species has achieved much in such a short time," Drix said, looking around at the buildings and technology. Then he made a sound like a laugh. "Though you have far to go." For the next week, the aliens met with Earth's leaders. They showed videos of their planets and star systems. They talked about their advanced technology and massive space fleets. Each time humans asked questions, the aliens exchanged looks that seemed like hidden smiles. "Your ships run on fossil fuels," one alien asked during a meeting. The aliens all made their laughing sounds. "Your weapons use gunpowder and simple atoms," another said with a tone that felt like talking to a child. Dr. Grant watched them carefully. "They're hiding something," she whispered to John. "They show us their technology, but offer no way for us to get it." At night, in a secure room below the UN building, John and Dr. Grant met with military leaders. Rear Admiral William Boyd played a recording of the aliens talking when they thought no humans were listening. "Another simple planet," one alien voice said. "Rich in resources, weak in defense. The Council will be pleased." "How long before we begin?" another asked. "Standard procedure. Diplomatic phase first. 6 months maximum. Then we present terms." Admiral Boyd stopped the recording. "We've seen this before. They're not here as friends." John looked troubled. "What can we do?" "You've seen their ships, their weapons." Admiral Boyd handed John a sealed envelope. "The President wanted you to have this. Security Clearance Omega." John opened it and read. His eyes grew wide. "Sir," Dr. Grant asked. "It seems," John said slowly, "that we may not be as helpless as they think." That night, in a secret base deep beneath the Nevada desert, lights turned on in a massive underground hangar. Workers in special suits moved around huge shapes covered in tarps. A man in a uniform with many stars walked down a long hallway and entered a code into a special door. Inside, a room full of screens showed images of Earth and space. In the center, a 3D map glowed blue, with small dots moving around it. "Begin Phase 2, Admiral Boyd said to the room. "And pray we have enough time." Above Earth, the alien ships circled. They thought Earth was weak. They would soon learn how wrong they were. 6 months passed since the aliens arrived. Their ships now filled Earth's skies. In every major city, alien bases had been built. They called them friendship centers, but they looked like military posts with tall walls and strange weapons. John Carter sat in the big meeting room at the United Nations. Across from him, High Ambassador Drix spread a document on the table with his 4 blue arms. "These are our terms for Earth to join the Galactic Confederation," Drix said. His voice sounded friendly, but his eyes were cold. John read the paper and felt his heart sink. The terms were terrible. Earth would have to give up most of its natural resources. Aliens would control who could go to space. Earth armies would be limited to small weapons only. "This isn't a partnership," John said. "This is making Earth your slave." Zrix made his laughing sound. "Such strong words, Mr. Carter. We offer protection and some technology. In return, we take only what your people barely use." He leaned forward. "Besides, you have no choice. Our ships can destroy your cities in minutes." Kate Murphy, the UN leader, stood up. "We need time to discuss these terms." "Of course," Zrix said. "You have one Earth week." After the aliens left, Kate called a secret meeting. Only the top leaders from the biggest countries came. They met in a room deep underground that was protected from alien listening devices. "They want everything," John told the group. "Our water, our metals, our people as workers. Can we fight them?" asked the Russian president. Admiral Boyd shook his head. "Not openly. Their ships are too strong. Last week they showed us by destroying an empty island with one small blast." Kate Murphy looked at each person in the room. "It's time for Protocol Omega." The room went quiet. Many looked surprised. "It exists?" asked the Chinese leader. "I thought it was just a story." "It's real," Kate said. "Started 40 years ago, when we found that crashed ship in the ocean. We've been building in secret ever since." She pressed a button, and a screen showed a map of Earth with glowing dots in remote places, deep oceans, deserts, the far side of the moon. "Our own fleet," she said, "hidden where their scans can't find them." "How many ships?" John asked. 50, Admiral Boyd answered. "Not as many as theirs, but ours have advantages they don't expect." Kate stood tall. "We need to buy more time while the fleet gets ready. John, tell them we're considering their offer, but need 3 more weeks." John nodded. "They think we're weak and scared. They'll believe it." Across the world, secret things began to happen. Dr. Peter Shaw, the best mind in quantum physics, disappeared from his university. His students were told he was sick, but he was really in a hidden base under the Atlantic Ocean, working on ship engines. Military people vanished too. Special forces, pilots, and ship captains were secretly moved to training centers. The public wasn't told anything. In space, on the dark side of the moon, workers finished building the biggest ship in the secret fleet. Its name was painted on the side. Shadow of Terra. Chief Engineer Allison Wright checked systems day and night to make sure everything was perfect. "Time?" she asked her assistant. 3 weeks until all systems are ready," he answered. Allison nodded. "The aliens think we're primitive. They have no idea what's coming." Back on Earth, the aliens grew more bold. They started taking things without asking. Water from lakes, metals from mines. When people protested, alien guards pushed them away. In Chicago, a small alien ship landed in a park and began digging up the ground. When police came to stop them, the aliens pointed weapons. The police backed away. People watching took videos as aliens laughed at the humans who couldn't stop them. No one noticed the small camera hidden in a tree, sending images to the secret base in Nevada. No one saw Admiral Boyd watching the screen, his face grim. "Record everything," he told his staff. "Soon they'll pay for every laugh." The aliens were done waiting. 2 weeks after giving their terms, they started taking control without Earth's agreement. Their ships moved into positions above every major city. They called it protection, but everyone knew it was a threat. Lieutenant Lisa Daniels stood on the deck of the U.S. Franklin, a Navy destroyer in the Pacific Ocean. Her ship was part of a battle group of 5 ships. They were ordered to protect a small island where aliens had started to set up a mining base without permission. "Ships approaching from the north," someone called out. Lisa looked through her binoculars. 3 alien vessels moved toward them. They were smaller than the big ships in space, but still twice the size of the largest human ship. The radio crackled. "Attention, Earth vessels. This area is now under Confederation control. Leave immediately." Admiral Rogers, who led the battle group, responded, "This is Earth territory. You have no permission to be here." The alien ships kept coming. Admiral Rogers ordered warning shots. The Franklin fired missiles that exploded in front of the alien ships. The aliens didn't even slow down. Then, without warning, one alien ship fired a beam of blue light. It cut through the first Navy ship like it was made of paper. The ship exploded, killing everyone on board. "Open fire," Admiral Rogers shouted. All 4 remaining ships fired everything they had. Missiles, shells, and bullets flew toward the alien ships. Most bounced off or exploded against some kind of invisible shield. The aliens fired again. 2 more Navy ships were hit. Lissa watched in horror as they burst into flames. "Abandon ship," Admiral Rogers ordered as an alien beam struck the Franklin. The ship shook and began to sink. Lisa jumped into the water with others from her crew. She watched as their last ship was destroyed. From the water, she could see aliens on their ships, pointing and making their laughing sounds at the humans swimming in the ocean. Rescue helicopters came hours later. By then, half the sailors were gone. As Lisa was lifted into a helicopter, she made a promise to herself. Someday, she would make them pay for those laughs. All over the world, similar battles happened. Earth forces tried to fight but were always defeated. The aliens had better weapons, stronger shields, and faster ships. On TV and the internet, the aliens began to take over. High Ambassador Rix appeared on news shows, talking about how Earth was now under Confederation guidance. "For your own good," he said, as if talking to children. "Your leaders couldn't manage your planet properly." One reporter asked, "What about those who resist?" The alien made his laughing sound. "Resist? With what?" "Your primitive weapons." All the aliens in the room laughed together. The camera showed their faces, amused at the very idea of humans fighting back. Underground, the resistance was growing. Former Marine Frank Russell led a group that attacked alien supply lines. They couldn't do much damage, but they gave people hope. Frank met with John Carter in a hidden room beneath an old factory. John looked tired but determined. "How much longer?" Frank asked. "1 more week," John answered. "The fleet is almost ready." "People are dying every day," Frank said. "The aliens are taking anything they want." John nodded. "I know, but we only get one chance at this. If we move too soon, it won't work." Frank agreed and left to continue his small attacks on the aliens. Deep in space, on the dark side of the moon, Fleet Admiral Henry Morrison walked through the massive hangar where the shadow of Terra waited. Beside him, 50 captains stood at attention. They had been secretly training for years for this moment. "Earth is suffering," Admiral Morrison told them. "Our people died while aliens laugh at us." He looked at each captain. "In 1 week, the laughing stops." The captains saluted. They returned to their ships, vessels unlike anything Earth had ever publicly shown. Ships built with technology recovered from the crashed alien craft found decades ago and improved by human ingenuity. The countdown to Earth's surprise had begun. 40 years earlier, a young scientist named Alan Price stood on a beach in Alaska. Before him lay a crashed spaceship, half buried in sand. It wasn't large, about the size of a bus, but it changed everything. "What do we do with it?" asked a military officer beside him. "We learn from it," Alan said, "and we prepare." That day, Earth's greatest secret began. The ship was moved to a hidden base. The best scientists were brought in. They told their families they were working on other projects. The world never knew. Now, in the present, Chief Engineer Allison Wright walked through that same base, much larger after decades of work. She stopped at a wall with thousands of names, all the people who had worked on Project Omega over the years. Alan Price's name was at the top. "Your father would be proud," said a voice behind her. Allison turned to see Admiral Morrison. "I hope so," she said. "He spent his life on this project. Never got to see it finished." "He knew this day would come," Morrison said. "Aliens who thought they could just take Earth." Allison nodded and returned to her work. The Shadow of Terra needed final checks before launch. As chief engineer, she had designed much of the ship herself. The Shadow was unlike any ship humans had publicly built. It used a special engine based on the crashed alien ship, but improved by human ideas. It could move faster than the Confederation ships. Its weapons were stronger. Its shields could withstand direct hits. But the most important technology was something completely new: the Dark Shield. This invention by Dr. Peter Shaw made the human fleet invisible to alien scans. It bent light and energy around the ships, hiding them completely. Dr. Shaw worked in his lab deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean. His screen showed the 50 hidden ships, each one ready for battle. Some were under the oceans, some were inside hollow mountains, and some were on the far side of the moon. "How's the Dark Shield holding?" asked his assistant. "Perfect," Dr. Shaw answered. "The aliens still have no idea we're here." On the main space station of the Confederation fleet, General Krell looked at reports from Earth. The general was tall with gray skin and 6 eyes. He commanded all Confederation forces. "The humans continue small attacks," an officer reported. "Nothing serious." "As expected," Krell said. "Their weapons are toys compared to ours." "Some humans still refuse to work in our mines," the officer added. "Double their work hours," Krell ordered. "They'll learn quickly." Back on Earth, Lieutenant Lisa Daniels had been rescued from the ocean battle. Now she worked with Frank Russell's resistance group. They hid in old subway tunnels under New York City. "I got a strange message," Frank told her, showing a paper with a code on it. "It says to keep people away from Confederation buildings tomorrow." "Why?" Lisa asked. "I don't know, but it's from high up. Someone with clearance code Omega." Lisa didn't understand, but she trusted Frank. They sent runners to spread the message to other resistance groups across the city. In the Nevada desert, a section of ground began to move. Sand slid away as a massive door opened in the earth. Below, in a giant underground hangar, a ship the size of an aircraft carrier waited. It had been built in pieces and assembled in secret. Captain Samuel Collins walked the bridge of this ship, named the Liberty. His crew worked at their stations, checking systems that no alien knew humans had. "Status report," he ordered. "All systems green, Captain," his first officer reported. "Dark Shield active. Weapons charged. Engine at full power." Samuel nodded. "Prepare for launch on Admiral Morrison's signal." Around the world, in deep oceans, inside mountains, and in hidden bases, 49 other captains gave the same orders. Each ship was fully crewed with men and women who had trained in secret for years. On the moon base, Admiral Morrison received the final report. All ships were ready. He looked at Earth hanging in space, parts of it now covered by alien ships. "Begin Operation Revelation," he said. "It's time to show them who they're really dealing with." The biggest Confederation ship ever seen entered Earth's atmosphere. It was 5 times larger than their other ships, like a flying metal city. It stopped above New York and hung there, casting a shadow over the entire downtown area. On Earth, people looked up in fear. In the resistance tunnel, Lisa Daniels watched on a small TV as alien ships gathered in the sky. "Something big is happening," Frank said. "They're bringing in ships from all over Earth." On the giant alien ship, General Krell stood tall and proud. He wore a special uniform covered in medals. Behind him stood 20 alien commanders from different species. "Today we make it official," Krell said. "Earth joins the Confederation not as a member, but as a resource world." The alien leaders laughed together. Earth would be their newest conquest, just like dozens of other planets before it. In the United Nations building, John Carter and Kate Murphy watched as aliens set up cameras for a worldwide broadcast. High Ambassador Drix approached them with a document. "Your official surrender," Drix said. "Sign it now." "And if we refuse?" Kate asked. Zrix pointed to the massive ship overhead. "Then we show Earth what real power looks like. General Krell has weapons that can flatten your cities in seconds." John looked at his watch. The time had come. "Before we sign anything, your general wants to make a speech, right?" Zrix nodded. "Yes. It will be broadcast to your entire world." "Then let him speak," John said. "Everyone should hear what he has to say." Zrix smiled, thinking John was accepting defeat. He didn't notice John press a small button on his watch. All over Earth, TV channels were taken over by the alien broadcast. General Krell's face appeared on screens everywhere. His 6 eyes looked directly at the camera. "People of Earth," he began. "Today marks the end of human independence. Your planet is now under Confederation control." In homes, schools, and public places, people watched with sadness and anger. "Your leaders have failed you," Krell continued. "They could not protect you from superior forces. Suddenly, Krell stopped speaking. Something on a screen near him had caught his attention. He turned to look at it, his face showing confusion. "Sir," one of his officers said with panic in his voice, "we're detecting energy signatures, hundreds of them, all around Earth and coming from the moon." In Nevada, the ground continued to open. The ship Liberty rose from its underground hangar, lifting into the air on silent engines. Its dark shield made it invisible to alien scans until now. Captain Samuel Collins gave the order, "Deactivate dark shield. Let them see us." The ship appeared in the sky as if by magic. The aliens on their screens couldn't believe what they were seeing. Around the world, 49 other ships did the same. They rose from oceans, came out of mountain hideaways, and appeared from secret bases. Each was as large and advanced as alien ships, with weapons ready to fire. From the dark side of the moon, the biggest ship of all appeared. The Shadow of Terra moved toward Earth, its massive form dwarfing even General Krell's command ship. Admiral Morrison stood on its bridge. "Open communication to all Earth channels," he ordered. "Let everyone hear this." On TV screens that had been showing Krell, Admiral Morrison's face now appeared. He wore a formal uniform with the Earth flag on his shoulder. "People of Earth," he said, "the Confederation thought we were weak. They laughed at our technology. They didn't know that for 40 years we've been building in secret. Today, Earth stands united. Today, we show the galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated." In the Resistance Tunnel, Lisa and Frank cheered along with everyone watching. On the streets, people began to celebrate, pointing at the human ships now visible in the sky. General Krell stared at his screens in shock. "Impossible," he whispered. "Their ships are as advanced as ours." High Ambassador Zrix's smile disappeared. For the first time, he looked afraid. "Perhaps," John Carter said to him quietly, "we should discuss new terms." General Krell recovered from his shock quickly. He was not a leader who accepted surprise or defeat. "Attack all human vessels," he ordered. "Show them what real military power looks like." The Confederation ships turned their weapons toward Earth's fleet. Blue beams of energy shot through the sky. They expected to cut through the human ships like they had done to the Navy vessels in the ocean. But something different happened. The beams hit invisible shields around the human ships and stopped. Not a single human vessel was damaged. On the bridge of the Liberty, Captain Samuel Collins watched the alien attacks bounce off his ship's shields. "Return fire," he ordered calmly. "Target their weapon systems only." The Liberty fired back, not with simple missiles or bullets, but with weapons based on the technology from the crashed alien ship. Golden beams shot out and hit 3 Confederation vessels at once. Their weapon systems went dark instantly. In space, Admiral Morrison directed the battle from the Shadow of Terra. His voice came through to all 50 human ships. "Remember your training," he said. "Use pattern Omega. Don't destroy ships unless necessary." The human fleet moved in perfect formation. Ships that had trained separately for years now worked together as one force. They surrounded groups of alien vessels, disabled their weapons, and moved to the next target. On the Liberty, Communications Officer Natalie Wright listened to alien transmissions. "They're panicking, sir," she told Captain Collins. "They can't understand how our technology matches theirs." "Send to all ships," Collins ordered. "Execute flanking maneuver now." 20 human ships suddenly changed direction. They moved faster than the Confederation ships could turn. In moments, they were behind the alien fleet, cutting off their escape route. On General Krell's command ship, alarms sounded everywhere. "We're surrounded," an officer reported. "Half our fleet has lost weapons. Human ships are faster than ours." "Impossible," Krell shouted. "They were primitive just days ago." "Sir," another officer said, "the largest human ship is approaching. It's targeting us directly." The Shadow of Terra moved toward Krell's command ship. It was slightly smaller but appeared more advanced in design. Admiral Morrison stood at the front of his bridge, watching the alien vessel grow larger on his screen. "Open a channel to General Krell," he ordered. Krell's face appeared on the screen. His 6 eyes were wide with anger and confusion. "This is Admiral Henry Morrison of Earth's Defense Fleet," Morrison said. "Your ships are surrounded. Your weapons are failing. Surrender now." "Never." Krell spat. "We are the Confederation. We have conquered 50 worlds. We will not surrender to primitives who got lucky with stolen technology." Morrison shook his head. "Not stolen. Improved. The ship that crashed on Earth 40 years ago gave us ideas, but what you see now is human innovation. Our dark shield technology is entirely our own invention, something your scientists haven't even imagined yet." As if to prove his point, 3 more human ships appeared out of nowhere directly beside Krell's vessel. They had been there all along, hidden by the dark shield technology. Throughout New York City, people came out of hiding. They watched the sky as human ships moved between the alien vessels. For the first time in months, they felt hope. In the Resistance tunnel, Frank Russell received a message on his radio. "All Resistance fighters," came a voice. "This is Fleet Command. Stand ready to help secure alien bases on the ground." Lisa Daniels grabbed her gear. "Finally," she said, "our turn to fight back." On the command ship, General Krell watched as more of his fleet lost power. His greatest weapons couldn't penetrate the human shields. His fastest ships couldn't outrun the human vessels. In a final desperate move, he ordered his ship to target New York City itself. "If we can't win," he growled, "we'll make them pay." His weapons officer entered the firing sequence. The main cannon pointed down at the city below. Millions of lives hung in the balance. Captain Collins saw what was happening. "They're targeting civilians. All power to forward weapons." The Liberty moved into position. It had one chance to save the city. The Liberty moved faster than any ship its size should be able to move. Captain Collins had ordered all power to engines. His ship shot between alien vessels like a bullet, heading straight for General Krell's command ship. "Their main weapon is powering up," Natalie Wright reported. "Firing in 10 seconds. "We won't make it in time," the first officer said. Collins didn't hesitate. "Use the pulse cannon." This was Earth's most secret weapon, developed by Dr. Peter Shaw. It had never been tested in real battle. The weapon officer pressed a series of buttons. From the front of the Liberty, a ball of white energy formed and grew larger. 5 seconds until they fire, Natalie counted. "Fire pulse cannon now," Collins ordered. The white energy ball shot forward. It hit Krell's ship just as the alien weapon was about to fire at the city below. The pulse spread over the entire alien vessel in a web of light. Every system on the ship suddenly went dead. The massive ship hung in the air, powerless. Inside Krell's ship, emergency lights came on. The general looked around in shock. "What happened?" he demanded. "All systems down," an officer reported. "Weapons, engines, shields, everything." On the Liberty, the crew cheered. The pulse cannon had worked perfectly. Admiral Morrison's voice came through. "Well done, Captain Collins. All ships, move in and secure the remaining alien vessels. Within an hour, the battle was over. Most alien ships surrendered once they saw their command ship disabled. A few tried to escape, but Earth's fleet was faster and caught them easily. On the ground, resistance fighters led by Frank Russell and Lisa Daniels stormed alien bases. With the ships above defeated, the aliens on the ground had little fight left in them. In the United Nations building, John Carter and Kate Murphy waited as alien leaders were brought in under guard. High Ambassador Drix looked very different now. His proud stance was gone. He avoided looking at the humans directly. "Please sit," John said, pointing to chairs across the table. "We have much to discuss." The aliens sat down slowly. Admiral Morrison joined the meeting, along with Dr. Olivia Grant. "Let's talk about your confederation," Kate began, "particularly how you treat developing worlds." Dr. Grant placed a folder on the table. "We've been studying you for years. This contains records of 23 planets you've conquered and stripped of resources. Planets where the people now live as workers for your empire." Drix looked surprised. "How did you get this information?" "We have friends," Admiral Morrison said. "Other species who secretly resist your rule. They've been helping us prepare." John leaned forward. "Here's what happens now. Every Confederation ship and person will leave Earth immediately." "And if we refuse?" one alien asked, though without much confidence. John nodded to a screen on the wall. It showed Earth's fleet surrounding the alien ships. "I don't think you want to refuse." High Ambassador Drix finally looked up. "You tricked us. You pretended to be weak." "No," Kate said firmly. "You assumed we were weak. You never bothered to really know us. Humans have a saying, never judge a book by its cover." Dr. Grant opened another folder. "These are our terms. Earth will join the galactic community, but as an equal, not a subject. We will trade fairly with other worlds, and we will help free the planets you've enslaved." "The Confederation Council will never agree to this," Drix said. Admiral Morrison smiled. "They already have. While we've been talking, your council received images of your defeat and our terms. They've agreed to everything." Drix and the other aliens looked shocked. "Your council knows what we now know," John explained. "The Confederation isn't as powerful as it pretends to be. You've been bullying smaller worlds, but you're not ready for a real fight." Outside, people cheered as alien ships began to leave Earth's atmosphere, not as conquerors, but as defeated invaders. In the sky above, Captain Collins watched from the bridge of the Liberty. Lieutenant Lisa Daniels stood beside him, having been brought aboard to witness the aliens' departure. "Did you ever think we'd see this day?" she asked. Collins shook his head. "Honestly, I wasn't sure. But I knew one thing. If anyone laughs at humans, they'd better be ready for the surprise." 1 year passed since the day Earth revealed its secret fleet. The world had changed in ways no one could have imagined before. John Carter stood on the observation deck of the new Earth space station. Through the large window, he watched ships coming and going. Some were human vessels. Others belonged to alien species from across the galaxy. They moved peacefully in the space around Earth. Kate Murphy joined him at the window. She now led the Earth Alliance, a new government that represented all nations to the rest of the galaxy. "The Galactic Council meeting starts in an hour," she reminded him. John nodded. Earth now had a seat on this council, which included 20 species from different worlds. Many had once been under Confederation control but were now free. "How are the new trade agreements going?" he asked. "Very well," Kate said. 7 more planets want to trade with us. They're especially interested in our medical technology." After the battle, Earth had surprised the galaxy again. Humans hadn't just built advanced ships and weapons. They had also made great progress in medicine, farming, and clean energy. These things were now helping many worlds. In orbit above Earth, the Shadow of Terra led a patrol of 5 ships. Admiral Morrison had retired, and Captain Samuel Collins now commanded Earth's fleet as the new admiral. His first officer was Lisa Daniels, now a captain herself. "Patrol route complete, Admiral," Lisa reported. "Good," Samuel said. "Let's head back to station." Earth's fleet now protected not just Earth, but also helped other planets that asked for aid. The fleet had grown to over 100 ships, with more being built. Each carried the pulse cannon technology that had defeated General Krell's ship. Speaking of Krell, the general had been removed from command by the Confederation Council. The Confederation still existed but was much smaller now. Many worlds had left to join Earth's alliance instead. Dr. Olivia Grant had become Earth's ambassador to other worlds. She traveled on a special ship called the Friendship, meeting new species and learning about their ways. She had already visited 15 planets and made friends on each one. In his laboratory, Dr. Peter Shaw worked with scientists from 3 different alien worlds. They studied the Dark Shield technology together, finding new ways to use it for protection and exploration. "The shield can now last twice as long," he told his team, "and it uses half the energy." Chief Engineer Allison Wright had built a memorial to her father and all who had worked on Project Omega. It stood in front of the New Earth Defense Academy, where young people trained to serve on the fleet. The memorial showed a simple crashed ship with the words, "From small beginnings come great things." Frank Russell had formed a new organization that helped planets breaking free from Confederation control. His teams taught people how to govern themselves and build their own defenses. He was currently on a water world called Nebulon, helping the fish-like people there set up their first free government. Back at the space station, John and Kate entered the council chamber. Representatives from 20 worlds sat around a large table. Some looked like humans. Others had tentacles, scales, or wings. All were equals here. High Ambassador Zrix was there too. His role had changed. Now he represented the much smaller Confederation, which had been forced to play by the new rules set by Earth and its allies. "The council is now in session," announced the chairperson, a tall being with 4 arms. As John took his seat, he remembered how the aliens had once laughed at Earth. Now they came to humans for help and advice. Earth had become a leader in the galaxy, not through conquest, but through innovation and cooperation. A message appeared on John's screen. It was from a newly discovered world that wanted to join the Alliance. Their people had been watching Earth from afar and were impressed by how humans had stood up to the Confederation. John smiled as he read their words. "We hope to learn from Earth. You have shown the galaxy that size and age do not determine a species' worth. It is courage, creativity, and compassion that make true greatness." The aliens had stopped laughing at Earth. Now they listened.